Again, we're doing this because why the hell not? And I decided to do another Danganronpa video. Yeah, I have a cold. And yeah. Well, we're gonna continue playing, so yeah. Trials resume.
I'm Monami, and my heart is throbbing like crazy right now.
Okay. Oh, nice.
The person who killed the wonderful Mahiru Koizumi is in this room.
Really?
Impossible! Impossible! I can't do anything. How annoying. But I'm just gonna believe in everyone. That's the least I can do.
Well, you could have put a stop to a murder or something, but no, you have to basically believe in people.
Best. Don't lose to yourselves, and don't forget to save regularly.
Don't forget to save regularly. What? Okay.
Well, now that we've decided to believe Hiyoko, now what?
If the killer was luring Hiyoko into a trap, then something that was used there might be a clue.
Well, they could have been able to frame them, so that's basically the gist of it. So yeah.
Do you mean the letter?
No, it was probably the gummy.
Yeah.
Huh? Candy can be a clue?
Yeah, that's surprising.
Hey, when you woke up, was the gummy already there?
Now that you mention it, I feel like it wasn't.
Just as I thought.
Just as you thought?
If the killer planted evidence while Hiyoko was there, she would have thrown it away if she found it.
Which means the gummy was placed inside the closet after Hiyoko fled from the beach house?
That means that they were inside the closet. But how?
The killer returned to the scene of the crime after I left?
They wouldn't have to do something that troublesome as long as they hid somewhere within the beach house.
That's impossible! There's nowhere to hide! I even glanced inside the shower room as I was running away, but there was nobody there!
Then, does that mean the killer came back?
I wonder. At any rate, the solution to that problem is connected to what really happened. That's what I think.
I want to play a new game. Is that what you're thinking? I think we prepared the perfect product. We'll dive you into your own brain and logical discern the mystery answer from several questions. It's called the Logic Dive. During it, you will have to control a version of yourself created from an image within your brain. Your task is to reach the goal, the final destination of a SIPMAS course. You can move sideways with the left stick and accelerate with R1 button, press circle to brake, and L1 to jump. There will be various obstacles you will encounter as you go. Alright. Yeah, okay. Wait. Logic Dive is basically that snowboarding thing, because I heard about it, but I never watched it. She's right. It might be very important. This may be a very important problem. If the killer tampered with evidence after Hiyoko ran away from the beach house, when did the killer arrive and depart from the beach house? Think. If I just focus and think about it, I'm sure we'll be able to find the answer. Alright, I'm gonna do it. Alright, let's see how this works. Logic Dive. Ah, this is like fucking Sonic. Sonic Racing. Go. Hopefully I can do this shit, because I'm good at this. Hopefully. Alright, I got this. Alright, question 1. When did the killer arrive at the beach house? Before Hiyoko arrived. I know that for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm fast as fuck, boy. I'm Keemstar. You don't realize how fast I am. Okay. Okay, when did the killer leave the beach house? after? Has to be after. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh, I'm getting pretty scared of this. Oh, there's obstacles I have to do? This really is like a fucking snowboarding game. Question 3. Where was the killer hiding while Hiyoko was unconscious? Beach house. Has to be a beach house because if it... Yeah! Beach house. I aced it! I fucking aced it! How? They're all red!
It's all coming together.
So easy. Keemstar versus Scares
the killer
versus
might have been
Leafy versus...
You spent all that time thinking just to say something so pointless. How disappointing. Didn't I just say there was nowhere to hide? Do I have to explain it in another language so you can understand?
Fuck off, Hiyoko, and let me explain.
Her personality got a hell of a lot more forceful once she stopped being a suspect.
Exactly! Thank you!
There should have been a place for them to hide. A place you didn't look, Hiyoko.
Oh, what are you saying? Stop being annoying or I'm gonna make Akane bop you on the head and shut you up for good.
Fuck off, Hiyoko. I'll put you back as a suspect. I really don't want that to happen to me. I need to be answered by any means. The place where the killer was hiding, the place where Hiyoko was looking was... The only place that she never looked was with her. She was inside because of those surfboard thingy jigs. I know the size of those because they are an average size of a human.
The closet? That's where I was locked up.
After you woke up, you said you rushed out of there, right? And you probably didn't look inside the closet very carefully.
But could two people even hide in such a small place? And without Hiyoko knowing?
That's why the killer made sure to arrange a hiding place.
But the killer made sure to arrange a hiding place in advance. I can only think of... That's right. Where he was hiding was... It was the surfboard place, because that's where it was, because... It's the size of a fucking human.
What about the surfboard case in the closet? I'm pretty sure they could have hidden in there.
Huh? Inside the surfboard case?
But the shelf it was on, it was pretty messy, don't you think? 2 surfboards were stacked on the top shelf. And there were surfboards that weren't even in a case. The killer probably did that on purpose to secure a hiding place, because we haven't been on this island that long, so the closet shouldn't have been that messy.
Then, the killer was close to me during that time?
Ooh.
Yeah, they were quietly holding their breath.
He could have killed you at that moment. Ah!
It's kind of like in for a penny, in for a pound, so to speak.
Don't you mean it's always darkest under the lighthouse?
I shouldn't say things I don't understand, like, so to speak.
Anyway, the killer hid silently, and after making sure Hiyoko left, they finally left the surfboard case.
That is
I
smart.
agree with that as well.
Seriously, nobody asked what you think.
Akane, calm
There's
down.
no way the killer would leave Hiyoko by herself if they were trying to frame her. If Hiyoko was left alone and ruined the evidence the killer had planted, it would have messed up their plan. Instead, it makes more sense to think that the killer was hiding in the beach house, watching Hiyoko.
Saying whatever you want, even if you didn't ask. All right, if you don't want to friggin' get punched, just stand still and let me punch ya! Oh, you shut up. Then, grit your teeth.
Sorry, Akane. It's not like that. Hey, Monokuma. Can I ask you about something that seems strange to me?
I believe Prince Shotoku was from the future. A man from the future is always directing the flow of history.
True enough.
I'll listen to your story about men from the future some other time. As I recall, the body discovery announcement is made when 3 or more people discover a body, right?
Wait. What are you on to, Nagito? Wait.
Is the killer also included? Among those 3 or more people?
Yeah, that's true, but, well, something like that is basically what it's supposed to be.
You don't sound very articulate.
Jeez! You're pretty annoying for noticing something like that. I know it sounds like an excuse, But the body discovery announcement isn't supposed to be used for deduction. It's intended to create a fair trial. It's supposed to let everyone know a body has been found.
So you're saying it's unfortunate that I used it for deduction? I understand your excuse, but depending on who actually found the body, it's possible that your 3 or more people rule could be deadly.
Ooh, Nagito is actually onto something. So, if the only people who actually saw the body was Hiyoko and Kazuichi, so that means whoever the third person is must be the one who was hiding among the killer. It could have been anyone!
Well, as long as I keep things ambiguous, I can respond to situations with some flexibility.
Flexibility, huh? So what about this time? Is it 3 people including the killer or not?
Geez, fine! You want me to say it? It doesn't include the killer this time, okay? All done.
Which means 3 people other than the killer discovered Mahiru's body.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I just thought it was somewhat strange. More importantly, let's get back to our original topic.
No, Nagito. You need to go back to that subject because Hajime wasn't the third person who found out the body because he was the one that heard the body discoverment. And Kazuichi was the third one who saw it. So, it could have been the second or first. Who could have been, who would it be?
You're the one who went on a tangent.
Exactly! Go back to your damn subject!
We were just saying the killer was hiding in the surfboard case, right?
And after Hiyoko ran away, the killer got to enjoy the simple life of destroying evidence.
However, before we proceed any further, there's something we have to make clear. The killer blocked the roadside door with Mahiru's body before Hiyoko ran away. But what about the blood?
Now that you mention it, that mystery hasn't been solved yet.
It's going to be all right. If you guys have come this far, now, let's start the argument, shall we?
No. I shall explain to you the final feature in the non-stop debate. From this point on, you'll be able to use the true flashback. If you hold triangle, the shape of a reticle will change. If you aim the remark's weak point and keep it in that position, you'll be able to memorize it. This memorized phrase can also be fired once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change to a different truth bullet, it will disappear from cynical. However, if you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want, you don't seem to have an answer to a lie or a mistake, and it might be memorize a different weak spot and use that in your case. Well, I just basically have to take whatever was said. I don't have any other truth.
What did the killer do with the blood on their body?
Maybe they simply washed...
They couldn't use the shower, right? So washing it off would have been impossible.
They didn't have to use...
Oh, what about the wetsuits in the closet? Maybe they wore one when they moved.
If they used something other than the shower...
Crap. My bad.
What did
Wrong
the killer
button.
do?
Maybe they simply...
They couldn't use the so washing it off...
They didn't have to...
What if maybe they wore one?
If they used something...
What did they do with the bloody wet?
They cut it up and whoosh.
As someone who flushes their shit every morning, it would definitely clog the toilet.
Maybe it's the other way around. Perhaps someone other than the killer moved the body.
Maybe they were able to wash it off.
If I use that person's opinion, I might be able to take through the contradiction.
What
Who?
did the killer do with the blood on their body?
Maybe they simply washed it off.
They couldn't use the shower, right? So washing it off would have...
They didn't have to use the shower.
What about the wetsuits in the closet? Maybe they wore one when they moved the body.
If they used something other than the shower...
What did they do with the bloody wetsuit?
They cut it up and whoosh.
As someone who flushes, it would definitely clog the toilet.
Maybe it's the other way around. Perhaps someone other than the killer moved the body?
Maybe they were able to wash it off.
Oh, and how does this work?
What did the killer do with the blood on their body?
Maybe they simply washed it off.
They couldn't use the shower, right? So washing it off would have been impossible.
They didn't have to use the shower.
Oh, what about the wetsuits in the closet? Maybe they wore one.
I don't get this. Hold on. I'm trying to think. How does this work? I'm not gonna be joking when I say this, but I think I'm gonna have to look this up. Well, I'm not joking when I say that I need to find like flipping. Oh, okay.
If they use something other than the shower.
What did they do with the bloody wet? They cut it
Oh,
up.
I think I know what to do now.
Perhaps someone other. Maybe they were able to wash it off.
What did the killer do?
Maybe they simply.
They couldn't use the shower, so washing it off.
They didn't have to.
What about the? Maybe they wore one when they.
If they used something other than the shower.
What did they do with the bloody?
They cut it up and.
As someone who flushes their shit it would definitely clog the toilet.
Oh, no.
Maybe they were able to wash it off.
Now I know.
What did the killer do?
Maybe they simply.
They couldn't use the shower, so washing it off would have been. No, that's wrong.
Now I get it. Ugh, so hot.
If they just needed to wash off the blood, they didn't necessarily have to use the shower. They could have just as easily used something else.
Something other than the shower. Like what?
Something other than the shower that used. It's inside the refrigerator.
And drinks inside the refrigerator. Couldn't the killer have used those to wash off the blood?
I've seen through it.
Oh! Oh shit, Pecco is the one who wants to do this. Oh.
Why?
Try to remember the refrigerator carefully. And then you will understand that there's no possible way the drinks in the refrigerator were used.
Hold on, if it's empty water bottles. Trash cans.
It's true there were drinks in the beach house. However, try think one bottle wouldn't be enough to wash off the blood.
I can't back down!
Ah!
We can't assume they used just one
I
drink.
don't want to face off against you, Pecco, please.
Didn't I say it wasn't? There were only flavored drinks. If you use those, the blood won't come off. They will leave it, especially if you that alone would raise suspicion.
Hold on, which one should I use?
Didn't I say it was? There were only flavored drinks. If you
Oh!
use the blood won't come off. It will leave an aromatic smell, especially that alone would raise suspicion. Didn't I say it was? There were no water bottles in the room.
Allow me to cut through those words!
I didn't want to do it, Pecco, but you forced my hand.
Oh, there were water bottles inside the refrigerator.
How many times do I have to tell you? There were no water bottles in there whatsoever.
That was after the incident, right? But before the incident, there were water bottles in the fridge. And the killer took all of those water bottles and used them to wash the blood off their...
So you're saying the water bottles were gone? Because they were all used? That's a logical fallacy.
Well, you're sweating.
It's not a fallacy. There should have been evidence inside the trash can. Evidence like a lot of thrown away plastic water bottles. Isn't that right, Chiaki?
Oh, you're right. These bottles look like they may have been filled with water.
Well, now that you mention it, when I went to the beach house a few days ago, I
feel like I drank one of those plastic water bottles.
Huh? You should have said so sooner.
Exactly.
Then, the plastic water bottles were used in place of a shower.
Dousing your body with lots of water bottles is such a simple and easy to understand explanation.
True. Hold on a sec. Now that I think about it, if they soaked their entire bottle with a bunch of plastic water bottles, if they did that, the person would be...
You've realized who the killer is.
Oh no!
See? Just as I thought. Hold on. You know who the killer is?
Is that true?
Let me ask, who might that be?
If the killer used water bottles to wash off the blood that splattered onto them, the killer Mahiru's killer must be that person. I'm sorry, Peko. I'm really, really sorry.
Peko, is it you?
No.
Hey, what are you being quiet for? They're accusing you of being the killer.
Then I should ask you this. Why do you believe I'm the killer?
I remember when we were all meeting up to go to the beach. Your appearance when you came to the diner.
So that was a lie! Hey, are you breathing heavily? I just did a little swimming.
If the killer really did wash the blood off with water bottles, they'd have to drench their entire body. But there were no towels in the beach house, and it would have taken a while for the water to fully air dry. So you said you went swimming so you'd have a cover story.
Don't just stay silent! Say something! Hold on, you bastard!
Huh?
You saw her at the diner! You never saw her near the beach house! So maybe she really was swimming! No one even saw her swimming. No. I saw her.
Wait a second, didn't you say you never saw anybody?
After I ran into you bastards at the diner, I crossed paths with her on my way home. So there's no doubt. She would have arrived at the diner from the opposite direction of the beach house.
Hold on. That's strange. Didn't you just say this earlier?
Yeah, it's just a coincidence that I passed by the diner. I didn't even pay attention to the beach house. I went straight back to the hotel after I saw you guys. I didn't see anyone during that time. Yeah, that's what I was saying!
You told me you didn't see anyone. Don't try to tell me you forgot about that.
Not so fast! It's too soon to decide she's a killer!
He's defending her.
We haven't established how the killer was able to leave the beach house!
Now that you mention it, you're right.
The roadside door was blocked. And if it's impossible to leave from the beachside without leaving footprints, then how the fuck did the killer escape?
Why are you all fired up, Fuyuhiko? You're not the suspect. Peko is.
Who cares about that? Answer me! If you have an explanation, then show me what you got!
We might have an answer.
Huh?
Do you really? This mystery seems unsolvable.
Well, if Peko is the killer, then I might just have an answer to that mystery.
I see. Then let's hear this alleged method of escaping the beach house.
First, let's establish how the killer escaped.
The killer's escape route. I might know what that is. In fact, the only possible... small window in the shower room! That's what I said with Junko!
Aren't an option. The only other thing I can think of is... well, nothing really. Except that small window in the shower room.
Huh. Don't you know how high that window is? There's no way Peko could have reached it.
But what if, for instance, she got help from someone?
She might have reached it by riding someone's shoulders, but then that person would have been left behind.
Is it possible an object was used? A rope, for instance?
And what happened to the rope after they used it? And don't say something stupid like they threw it outside.
Of course not! That would violate the school trip!
Oh yeah! Littering is not allowed. Let us coexist with the island's bountiful nature in mutual prosperity.
Littering is prohibited. Even if it might be evidence, rules are still rules.
You see? There's no way they'd be able to escape from that window.
No, they just have to use an object.
Chiaki, don't fall asleep on us!
We just said they couldn't use an object.
You did? I thought you were saying they couldn't dispose of an object.
I see. You don't have to throw it away if you can just hide it somewhere on your body. Huh? Pekka was wearing a swimsuit, remember? Where would she even hide an object?
The only thing she would have is that sword.
And if you say she hid it in her special place, I'll stab you in yours!
Shut the fuck up, Kyoko. Keep quiet, you fucking asswipe. Even if the killer used an object to escape out the window, they would have been able to get rid of it. So, the only thing I can think of is that the killer must have hid it somewhere. If that's the case, because I think the object the killer used to escape out the window. The sword! The bamboo sword! Where is it? Need to keep that S. Bamboo sword. See?
I got it.
Echo, you carry that bamboo sword on your back at all times, right? If I recall correctly, you had it then too.
Oh yeah, she had the sword still.
Despite the fact that you had a swimsuit on, you were still wearing your bamboo sword.
Are you saying she used that bamboo sword to escape through the window?
She could have climbed on it. She could have placed it down, tied it around her, used it to step ladder, and was able to turn it at the back. I mean, she had that tie thing, so it would have wrapped around her.
Yeah. Heko used that bamboo sword as a step stool and escaped out the window.
Yeah, and it is possible to make a sword as a step stool, because Sasuke was able to do that in the Sasuke versus Deidara fight.
Sword as a step stool? You see? I knew it! I knew it was a ninja! Didn't I tell ya? A ninja could have climbed that easily.
Told ya.
Ninjas know a climbing trick where they lean their sword against a wall and use the handguard as a step stool.
True.
Wow! Just like a Japanese ninja!
Miss Sonia, ninjas only exist in Japan.
True.
Well, it is a bamboo sword, but I'm sure a slender girl like Peko could easily use it to climb.
Ooh.
Well, Peko, do you have anything to say?
Now then, time has come